Hello everyone, this is Daniel with fitnessblender.com. Today we've got a nice fun kettlebell workout for you to do. If you don't have kettlebells, don't worry about it. All of these exercises you can do with dumbbells with slight modifications. So we have a warm-up and a cool down done with this. We're going to be going through 4 different groups of exercises. Each group is going to be completely different. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and start our warm-up. We've got 10 different exercises to go through, doing each one of these for 30 seconds apiece. Start my timer here. First one is just going to be a side step cross, so nice and slow. I'm just going to step back and forth, nice and slow. Keep those lungs open, crossing those arms over top, kind of pulling them across one another, alternating which arm is on top every single time. This is just to get your body moving just a little bit, especially if you've been sedentary for a long time before starting this. You're going to want to start into it really nice and slow. Just keep crossing those arms back and forth. Keep those lungs open. We're moving on to a high knee march next. So as you're going to start with those hands over your head. As you pull your knee up, you're going to pull your arms down and alternate to the other leg, just back and forth. Nice and slow. Speed it up as you can, as long as it's comfortable. But main thing you want to be focusing on getting as much range of motion out of it as you can. So really stretch those arms back, really pull that knee up nice and high. Just trying to warm up that shoulder and that hip joint. Got toe touch sweeps next. So feet just a little wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to go down that toe, sweep across, up, and back down. Just alternate back and forth. Take your time. It's about range of motion rather than speed. So if you're feeling a little stiff, just slow it down, get a little extra stretch out of it. Moving to torso circles next. So we're going to start back in the same position, but instead of bending those hips, you're just going to bend at your waist. So forward, around, lean it back, pause in front, and then back the opposite direction. So you're really trying to get that spine warmed up on this one. Try to get as much range of motion out of as you can. Again, don't worry about going quickly. We're just trying to get a little more blood flowing to those muscles and stretch them out just a little bit. Wake them up. All right, we're doing a ski squat with a ventral raise, so feet really nice and close together. You're going to bring those hands up as you squat down and back down. So knees close. Keep them pinned together, and as you squat, those arms come straight up over top of your head. Nice, slow, controlled motion again. All right, we're doing a sumo squat with a lean, so feet really nice and wide apart. We're going to squat down, lean over to one side, and back up. And same thing over the other side. Again, focusing on warming up that torso as much as you can. These kettlebell movements are really dynamic. They're going to ask a lot of those core muscles, so you want to make sure they're nice and warm, stretched out. All right, we're doing a single leg arm circles. We're going to do this halfway through, so one leg up. Move them slowly forward. Switch, back out. Back in. Switch. Just nice and slow. Moving back and forth. And let it relax. Feet out nice and wide. One more time. You're going to do a warrior off to one side. Stretch. Back up to the center. Off the other side. Stretch. Back up to the center. Off to the other side. And stretch. Just keep those lungs open. All right, boxer shuffle is our last one. So just focus on keeping your lungs open, stay up on those toes, warm up those ankles, You're doing a lot of things that are going to be challenging your balance ever so slightly. All those muscles through your ankles, through your hips, through your core, everything through your upper body as well. We're going to be tackling a little bit of everything. So if you're not feeling quite warmed up enough, by all means, hit pause, do a little bit more before we go back in to start into the actual routine. All right, that is the end of our warm-up. So let's go ahead and grab those dumbbells or kettlebells, whichever you happen to have. Let's get started. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started with this routine. We've got 6 different exercises to go through with this first group. We're going to be doing each one for 30 seconds apiece with a 10-second rest. So we're going to be going through this pretty quickly without a whole lot of rest on it. So let me get my timer started here. Our first exercise is going to be a halo. So go ahead and grab the dumbbell or the weight kettlebell that you want for this. Start with it kind of a goblet position. You're going to go around your head. Pause in the front and back around the opposite direction. You want to try to keep those elbows as close to your head as you possibly can without tucking your head, either leaning it back or forward. So just roll it around nice and slow, under control, keeping those lungs open. Around the world next. I'm going to increase my weight just a little bit. So this one's going to go around your waist, just like so. All right, so go around. Just remember which direction you start with. So I'm going around my back with my left hand. So next round, we're going to do it going the opposite direction. Just alternating back and forth from hand to hand. Takes a little bit of time to get used to doing this, crossing over behind your back. But start off slow and then speed up as you can. You don't need to be going really, really fast. We're not trying to build up a huge amount of momentum here. And let it relax. Drop my weight back down. Going back for that halo. All right, around your head. Pause. Back around the opposite direction. Remember, try to keep those arms as close to your ears as you can without really moving your head. So you actually want to kind of feel like that kettlebell is kind of rolling around your shoulders and back behind your head. Just keep it going. Almost done. Just a few seconds left. And going back to that other exercise. Pop my weight back up for just a second. So doing those halos again, or excuse me, the around the world. So whoop, make sure I'm going the right direction here. Remember, alternate the direction you went last time. So last time I had my left arm going behind me. This time I have my right arm going behind me. You always want to be even left to right. You never want to do something on just one side dominant. You never know when you're going to need to use that opposite side just as much as your dominant side. And let it relax. All right, we're doing a single arm row. I'm going to try to do this with a full weight here. We'll see how far I get. So we're going to start in kind of a tripod position, almost a lunging forward position. Start with my right arm first. Just going to pull it up to your rib cage. So keep those shoulders facing down towards the ground. You don't want to open up. Keep those lungs open. Let's relax. We're going to do the same thing, but facing the opposite direction. So opposite leg forward. Go in that kind of tripod position here. And pull it up. So even though you only have your feet touching the ground, I call this a tripod because you have your elbow as a third point of contact to help you keep your balance and keep that position. Remember, keep those shoulders facing down towards the ground. Try to get as much squeeze to that shoulder as you can without opening that chest. All right, I'm going to drop my weight just a little bit here. Do the same thing on the opposite side again. those lungs open, nice controlled movement. You don't want to go too fast and start building momentum into it. You want your muscle to have to work the same amount through that entire range of motion. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing facing the opposite direction. And start. Nice flat back, chest facing down towards the ground. Focus on that squeeze, that shoulder. So though your chest isn't opening up, your shoulder should be squeezing back. Just the outside part. All right, I'm gonna actually keep this amount of weight for myself here. We're gonna do a pop press. So you're gonna rack that weight up to your shoulder. I'm gonna start with my right arm. You pop it using your legs just a little bit. So a little bit of a hop with those legs to help you get that shoulder press. We're going to keep going straight through on the same arm. Keep those lungs open. Same thing on the other side. So go to that racked position. So basically laying against your bicep and forearm. Back nice and straight. A little pop to those legs to help with that momentum. Getting that dumbbell up over your shoulder. Getting that kettlebell up over your shoulder. So one of the big differences between kettlebell style exercises and dumbbell style exercises is kettlebell uses a lot of little extra momentum tweaks here and there for a lot of its exercises, whereas dumbbell stuff typically doesn't. You want to do that dead, meaning no extra momentum. All right, back over. Take a deep breath. And start it again. A little bit of a hop with those legs to initiate that momentum. Throw it into that kettlebell, that dumbbell. And then press it all the way up, lock out over top of your shoulder. Make sure you have a controlled drop back down to that racked position. Don't just let it fall. Make those muscles have to work. That negative is really effective for muscle building. All right. Just a few seconds. We'll start back into that other side. It's our last one. Then we get a water break. And start up, press it, back down. Apparently you got the trash truck going by. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Keep those lungs open. Almost done. One more. And let it relax. All right, that is our first group through. We have 3 more to go, so we'll be right back after this water break. See you in just a second. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started with group number 2. Got another 6 exercises, all brand new. We're doing the same style though, AB, 30 seconds a piece, and we're doing a 10-second rest in between. So let me go ahead and get my timer started here. Grab that kettlebell or dumbbell, whichever one you have. We're gonna be doing a walking squat first, just kind of holding it at your chest. You're going to go down on one foot and then back up on the other. Back down, back up. So you're just kind of slowly walking back and forth, doing a little tiny bit of a single leg squat here with a little bit of help at the hardest point, the lowest point. So just alternate back and forth. Keep that back flat. And let it relax. All right, we're doing a rotational lunge next. Scoot that forward just a little bit. So, just like a regular lunge, you're going to step forward and then rotate left to right. Back up, step out with the opposite foot, rotate left to right. So make sure every time you lunge out, you're going to rotate towards the knee you step forward with first, and then the opposite side. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you're going to extend that weight out away from you. You can try that next round. All right, we're going back to that walking squat. Take a short break. Nice deep breath in, grab that weight. And remember, down with one foot, let it touch, up with the opposite. If this is too hard, coming back up on a single leg, feel free to use both. Drop with one, both on the way up. It just makes it a little bit easier, getting a little bit more of a negative exercise. And let it relax. All right, we're going back to that rotational lunge. Again, if you want to make it a little bit harder, like that last repetition from the other one, keep those arms out. So you're going to step forward towards that knee. It's forward for the first rotation, and then away for the second. Move nice and slow and even. If you start getting a little too momentum built in, here you start pulling yourself side to side with that weight. Oops. All right. 2 new exercises. We're going to be doing an overhead lunge. Actually, yeah, I'll keep that same weight. We're going to do it just on one side. So we're going to do it with that left leg forward, weight in your left hand. Just going to lunge down and back up. Full extension over your head. For the harder version, just makes your core muscles have to work just a little bit harder. If that's too hard, just from that rack position. But if you can, keep it up. All right, we're gonna do the same exact thing, but on the opposite arm. So start in that rack position. Pop it up over your shoulder. Step out. Remember, easier version, just drop it down. Keep it in that racked position. So that kettlebell or dumbbell is nice and low on that shoulder. Harder version, just keep it right above your shoulder joint. So you want that wrist directly above your shoulder joint. And let that relax. Do the same thing back on both sides. Recover. Nice full deep breath. Rack it. Hand up. Step out with same arm or same leg as arm. If you want this other arm that's free, you can kind of keep out wherever you need to for balance. Otherwise, to make it a little more difficult, keep it in nice and close so you're having more control that balance a little bit more with your ankles and torso rather than the counterbalance of that arm. All right, one more on the opposite side again. Nice big deep breath. Start it up. Out. A little harder. That arm pulled in nice and close. And let it relax. All right. Got a squatting push-pull and a side lunge shift next. Actually, I'm going to use the same amount of weight. So squatting push-pull, you're gonna squat down, push out away from you, bring it back in. So you come back up, out, squat, in, and stand. Just keep those lungs open. Take your time with this. Back up. All right, side lunge shift. So you're gonna keep that weight right at that chest, just like we were doing. Feet stay out really nice and wide. Drop down to a side lunge. Shift left. Shift right back again. Just staying low. No rest for those legs on this one. Relax, stand back up. All right, back, that squatting push-pull. Weight at your chest, squat, press it out, pull it back in. Keep that back perfectly flat. All right, one more of those side lunge shift. Weight to your chest, feet out nice and wide, lunge off to one side, alternate over. Staying low. Try not to lock that knee out completely of the leg that goes straight. Keep those lungs open. And let it relax. All right. We're gonna take a really short break, and then we're gonna come back and do round 3. See you in just a second. All right, everybody, we're already over halfway done here. So let's go ahead and get our group number 3 done. Let me start my timer here. It's gonna work the same exact way as before. New exercise. We're gonna be doing a clean and press first. So I'm gonna try with the full weight here. So clean is here, press here, and back down nice and slow. We're staying on one side. Clean and press. Just keep it going. Flat back, all that momentum kind of coming from those legs with a little extra help from that upper body. And let it relax. Do the same thing on the other side. And since we're doing left to right, make sure you match the weight left to right. Don't do different weights. All right. Pop it and overhead. Clean to that rack position and then press it the rest of the way. Clean and press. Clean and press. Just keep it going. Should I get one more in? And relax for just a second. We're doing the same thing on the opposite side. All right. Pop it up, clean, and press. Back down. Clean, and press. Just keep it going. Focus on that form. Keep that back nice and flat. Make sure you use a controlled fall with that weight. All right, one more on the other side. Then we're gonna make it a little harder. And up, and over your head. Clean and press. Clean and press. Get those lungs open. All right, give it a second. Rest. I'm gonna try to get through this first round the same weight. We're gonna be doing a snatch, which is all the way from the floor to all the way overhead in one movement. All right, so down, squat down. You're gonna pull all the way over your head. Back down nice and slow. And initiate with those legs all the way over your head. And down. If you can't do this one, just go back to the clean and press. You're gonna draw up your body and flip that dumbbell or that kettlebell halfway up. Same thing on the other side. You gotta match it. So no changing your weight until we're done with this side. So all the way down, nice low squat. Pop, and all the way up. And all the way up. Make sure you're coming down nice and slow, under control. Keep those lungs open. Don't hold your breath. You're gonna have a tendency to want to with this. So either exhaling or inhaling the entire time. And let it relax. All right, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm gonna try to keep that weight for the next 2 sets, or next set on each side. All right, squat down. One fluid motion. Back down. Flat back. All that movement, all that momentum coming from those legs. That arm is having to work a little bit, but not much. Let me take that back, it's working a lot. But it's not doing all the work. Getting a little loose there. Focus on that form. All right. Straight up and over your head. Bring it up nice and close to your body. A little bit of a flip once it gets above your shoulder. Relax. All right, we're doing a single arm swing. I'm gonna try this with the same weight again. So we're starting off with your left arm first, or actually do right. Get that swing started, pop with your hips. Weight coming up to shoulder. Don't need to come any higher than that. It's about top of head is max. Use those hips, get a nice pop, that back stays flat. Whew. All right, same thing on the other side. Little recovery. All right, start them up. Little swing, pop with those hips. Exhale as you press it up. Inhale on the way back down. Remember, keep that back flat. Slight bend in those knees at the bottom. Pop it up. Squeeze it with those glutes at the top. And let it relax. All right, I'm gonna drop that weight just a little bit. Back over with that right arm. Keep that back flat. Popping with those hips. Keep those lungs open. All right, one more on the other side. Then we get another water break. A small pop. And get it up. Press it out. Squeezing with those glutes. Popping those hips forward. You're not actually putting weight or pressing against your forearm with your hips. It's all through connected musculature through your arm, through your back, and through those legs. And let it relax. Whew. All right. And get another drink of water. We'll be right back to finish this off. See you in just a second. All right, everybody, we only have one group of kettlebell left, and then we've got our cool down. So let's go ahead and get our last round of the tough stuff done. All right, we're gonna be starting off with a kettlebell swing, just a traditional kettlebell swing. We go for full weight on this one. So with both hands here. If you're a glutton for punishment, if you want to do something a little more difficult, feel free. You can get fancy with it. You can go back to a single arm, just alternate however you want. If you want to get fancy and do switch at the top, that's fine. If you want to keep it basic, you can just do that regular swing and let it relax. All right, we've got a goblet squat next. Drop my weight just a little bit here. Turn that kettlebell pointing up. You're going to squat down and right back up. Keep my feet a little closer together. We're just doing a traditional squat here. Flat back. Keep those lungs open. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. If you want a breathing pattern, but primarily just keep those lungs open. And let it relax. So we're going to go back to that kettlebell swing. Going back up to full weight here. All right, remember, you can do basic two-handed swing. If you want to get fancy, feel free. Just keep that back flat. Keep that momentum coming from those hips. Relax. All right. Drop that weight. Twist that kettlebell bottom up. Knees together. Flat back. Get down as low as you can comfortably. Lungs open. Make sure those knees track right over top of those feet. All right, Turkish get up is next. Move that forward. We go nice and light. Starting with right hand, crunch up. And then up. Back down. Stay on that same side. Sorry, I did that wrong last time. Up with that right hand. Tuck that left knee underneath. Straighten up and stand. All right. We're going to switch sides. Same exact movement, but just on the other side. All right, so up, tuck your right knee underneath this time. Up, and there you go. Back down. Crunch it up. Knee underneath. And up. One more in there. And switch sides. Up. Right knee underneath. Straighten up. And come up from that lunge. Back down. And back down. We're gonna waste a little bit of time here on this next one. That's okay. All right, we're doing a deadlift. So using all the weight here, flat back, straight leg, back up. Doing a straight leg deadlift here. Keep those legs almost completely locked out, but don't lock them. Keep them just a slight bit soft. Nice and slow down, hinging from those hips, keeping that back flat, no rounding those shoulders forward. All right, we're doing a goblet sumo squat. And drop my weight just a little bit. Bring it up to that chest. Feet out nice and wide. Down and back up. Keep those lungs open. Back flat. All right. Let me relax. Bump my weight back up. All right, flat back, slight bend that knee. Straight forward, back up. Make sure you're going down evenly on both sides. Don't let yourself lean to the left or the right if you have a dominant side. All right. Another sumo squat, goblet squat. Feet out nice and wide. Kettlebell in front of you. Squat it down. Keep those lungs open. I don't know if you're sweating as much as I am, but man, I'm just dripping. Go as low as you can, as low as comfortable on those hips. You might not have as much range of motion as me, that's fine. Just go to what's comfortable. Whew. All right, guys, if you may or may not have noticed, I accidentally skipped one of those Turkish get-ups. Feel free to go back in and do one more round of those on your own. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the cool down. We're doing, again, 10 different exercises or 10 different stretches, just 30 seconds a piece. So start trying to let yourself relax and calm down. We're gonna start off with just a regular toe touch. Feet just about shoulder width apart. You can go straight down between those toes. Just go down as low as you can, as low as is comfortable. If you can't reach the ground, that's perfectly fine. Just start working down your shins, just so you know how far you are, so you can kind of have a gauge to make sure you're progressing as you do this. And just let it relax, breathe in normally. All right, stand back up. You're going to put one foot over top of the other. You're going to lean away from that leg. So you're going to try to get a stretch to the outside of that torso, down to the outside of that leg just a little bit. Try to keep your balance. If you need to lean up against something, by all means do so. Remember, if you're ever needing anything for balance, you want to use it as little as possible. You always want to try to force yourself to do most of the work to try to eventually get off of using it as a crutch. All right, switch sides. Cross that other foot over. Gonna lean the opposite direction. And remember, everybody has to start somewhere. So if you need to modify these things to make them work for you, by all means do so. Don't feel bad about it. You need to do what's right for you. You can always have it as a goal to do better every single time you come in and eventually get better than me. And let it relax. All right, we're doing a quad stretch next. So right leg and right hand. Squeeze that heel into your butt as close as is comfortable. Torso straight up and down. Push that knee back behind you. Should feel it jump into that quad as soon as you do so. Keep that torso, like I said, straight up and down. And same thing over on the other side. Again, standing straight up and down, heel to butt. Push that knee back behind you. Focus on that form, on that balance. Press that knee back, torso straight up and down. Should be feeling it all through the front of that thigh, maybe a little bit in front of that hip. Let it relax. All right, go ahead and sit down. We're doing a butterfly stretch next. Pull those feet in nice and close. Press those legs down and out to the side. Keep that back nice and flat. Just breathe normally. Doing a cobra next, so over onto your stomach. Hands by the base of your rib cage. Slowly press up. Just go as high as you can. If you can lock those arms out, do so. Press those shoulders back behind you. Press that chin up towards the ceiling. Sit back in a shell stretch. So back on those heels as far as is comfortable. If you're not this flexible in those knees, just go back as far as you can. Lean over forward, round that back up as you press those shoulders back into those hips. And let it relax. We're going to lay back on your back. Right leg over top. Grab behind that left thigh. Pull it back in as far as comfortable. You should feel the stretch in the glute of that right leg, maybe even into your lower back. Predominantly just in that hip joint, along that glute. It's a great stretch for sciatica if you've never done it before. Switch sides, left leg over top. Again, grab behind that thigh, pull in. Let those arms and legs out all the way. We're going to do one more stretch. Hands over top of your head. You're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, press them in opposite directions. Press those heels down, away from your hips, and press those arms opposite direction. Really stretching out, arching that back. And let it relax. All right, do that one more time. Nice big deep breath in. Stretch those hands and feet in opposite directions. Kind of wiggle back and forth. Find that stretch. And let it relax. All right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this routine. I know I did. My body is completely drenched now with sweat. Hope you guys got a good sweat in too. This workout is complete. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.